Hey guys, Ben here from Snipit Studios, and welcome to How to Be an Artist Part 10. Today I want to talk about day jobs. So I myself, as well as I think nearly every artist I know, we all have day jobs. We are career artists, but we still have a job to pay the bills. And there's a lot of artists and a lot of people out there, just fans of the arts, who kind of don't think this is a good thing. They seem to think that, for whatever reason, that if you have a day job you're not a real artist or you're not a real professional. And honestly, I feel that that's a bit of a bother to me, because it undermines not only my level of experience, but it just undermines me as a person, because like, well, you're not really a professional because it's not the only thing you're making money on, which is honestly just absurd. You wouldn't say that about any other profession in the world, but for whatever reason, for an artist to have a day job apparently is wrong. I don't really get that, and I think that sort of belief in a lot of ways is in fact very flawed. So if you look beyond sort of the misconception that professional artists can't have a day job, why would you kind of either want to have a day job or just, I think in a lot of interesting ways, the way I go about things is why I actually kind of prefer having a day job, being able to do both. With artistic income, unless you like work for a studio or something, or like you're a designer, you don't really have consistent, stable income, which can be really difficult to do things like buy a car, buy a house, raise a family, just because you need to have a certain set level of money coming in order to not only produce the kind of artwork that you want to, but also to support yourself and to support your family. And so that's sort of where it's important to kind of have another job. Everyone says, like, yeah, living the dream to pursue your art and to just make money on your art, but that's not really practical. And while a lot of people follow artists that do that and have been lucky to do that, that didn't happen overnight, and they really had to work to get there. And it definitely shouldn't be treated as the only way to be an artist. It's like I'm very much against this starving artist mentality, because I think if you are just like, well, I just don't like the regular 9 to 5, so I'm just not going to work that, and then I'm going to struggle for the rest of my life, but at least I'll be happy. I don't feel like that's really being happy. I feel like that you're forcing yourself to be, you're just forcing a hardship on yourself, and that's just dumb. Like, there's no reason for that. So I think as an artist, you kind of have to have even at least a part-time job, especially in the U.S. You got to have something to be able to like pay health insurance at the very least. You have to have some kind of a stable income if you want to be a productive adult. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't really seem to understand about artists, is that even if you're not an artist full-time, that certainly doesn't mean you're not a professional. It certainly doesn't mean that you're not capable of pursuing your work and pursuing it in a very serious manner, but also still having fun and enjoying yourself. For me, I don't know if I'll ever make that jump, and that's something I've kind of thought about over the years. Is that it's like, you know what, I like having a regular job, as much as I like working in the studio, as much as I like going to shows. I like being a regular person 5 days a week, 6 sometimes. I can reserve my art and stuff for the weekends and evenings as I need to, but I like having the stability of a regular income. I mean, it's allowed me to get my own place. It's allowed me to continue to make these videos, and it's allowed me to, pursue my work in the avenues that I want to. I haven't had to sacrifice my vision for my art for the sake of a paycheck. I think, and some artists, specifically in the very traditional sense, you're an artist, you're a craftsman. And if you're going to do a lot of commission work, that's fine. I have nothing against that. But I think for me, and I think for a lot of artists, whether you get to the point where you can make a living on commissions or not, you shouldn't sacrifice any kind of general happiness in order to get yourself there. So if you're an artist that's struggling just because you're doing work that you hate, it's okay to pick up another job. It really is. Sure, you may not have as much time to work on your art as you might like, but I think it's important for artists to really understand that having an art career doesn't necessarily mean you're doing just that. And I think for any successful artist I've ever met, that's always been the case. Is you do a lot of different things. Artists are often very scatterbrained, and so for that reason, it's like, okay, let yourself be in all these different places. You can work the 9 to 5, and you can paint, and you can make music, and you can do all this other stuff. As long as you're bringing in the income for it, that's great. But don't necessarily limit yourself just to your work or just to your day job. And along those same lines, whether or not you're an artist or just a fan of the arts, I would say don't think you are just as good as what your day job is. This is something that I've come to actually just tell friends and family too. It's like, you are more than your day job. But it's still important to have one. So those are my thoughts on day jobs as an artist, and I guess as a functioning adult. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit that like button. Support on Patreon if you're able to. Like the page on DeviantArt, Facebook, and Instagram. And this has been from Snipit Studios, and I will see you guys next time. I'm sorry if it's been a little loud, if there's background noise. They're cutting trees and stuff outside. I'm also distracted. I've got a show coming up about the art market, but that kind of stuff. Yeah.